live in Tennessee. I am Christian. That's not what we stand for.
Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve. However, Taylor Swift can get away with it. I wonder why. Howdy, y'all. I'm Brylan. So as every living being on Earth knows, Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift are engaged. That means us regular, everyday, small and insignificant, downtrodden, lesser-thans finally have meaning in our lives. Feels good to not be empty anymore. Now, I know you're thinking, I couldn't care less if Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce are engaged. Me either. However, that's not what this video is about. No, this video is about something much deeper and much darker. However, credit where credit is due. I have to admit, that is one of the nicest cubic zirconias that I have ever seen. Hey, if you get value from this video, would you consider hitting that thumbs up button? You know when you like this video to get pushed out to more people, and it would really help spread the truth. Now, I want you to realize for a second here why this is so significant. There are almost 36 million likes just on Instagram, not including all other social medias. In fact, Brett Cooper actually laid it out in the perfect way about how much this really means to the world.
Anyway, they announced this and the world just exploded. Like, the internet came to a screeching halt. I was seeing posts on X from people being like, oh my God, Fox News just cut away from a cabinet meeting to say Taylor Swift is officially engaged. This is how big it is. And I made the joke on X and I said, if there was ever a time for a politician to release a story to the press that they don't really want to get any traction on, if they want to like quietly release everything they know about Epstein, now would be the time. Every single brand, every single mainstream media outlet, every single, publication, everybody, including myself, is focusing on Taylor Swift.
And you get the point. She actually goes on much longer than this, talking about how significant this news is. Okay, when you're a 35-year-old woman and you're finally getting engaged after having more boyfriends than Ricky Martin, is that really the pinnacle of admiration? Anyways, you're seeing everybody, whether it be those on the left, those on the right, conservatives, progressives, whatever, you're seeing them all just go absolutely nuts, wild. Like their life finally has meaning now that Taylor Swift is finally engaged. And that brings me to one of my favorite reactions to all of this. I think Kirk Cameron had one of the best, the most down-to-earth, the realist reactions to this. Listen to this for a second, and then I'm going to show you and break down exactly why Kirk Cameron is 100% spot on.
This billionaire pop star in heels is crowned the voice of a generation. What do you get when a billionaire pop star releases an album with provocative artwork, lyrics that mock God, glorify rebellion, and celebrate explicit sin? You get the most powerful sermon that America's youth will hear this year. She mocks God in her lyrics. She normalizes sin. She glorifies lust and rebellion as if this was womanly empowerment. Her songs are not just music. This is discipleship. She doesn't have any kids of her own, but raising kids is hard. Why get into all that when she can just disciple your kids and train them up in the way that she would like for them to go?
Yeah, so, he's just spot on. He's just straight up 100. And you're going to have a lot of people that are like, oh, I don't idolize Taylor Swift. I just appreciate what she's done for women. Now, I could spend, and I'm talking literally hours, okay, going through Taylor Swift songs, interviews, music videos, live concerts, and just pointing out just proving everything that Kirk Cameron just said. However, you just have to look at, just pull up a song called, False God. It talks about how even if it's a false God, we'd still worship. And she's talking about lust and how she's basically worshiping at the altar of lust. And even if it's a false god, she's going to worship it because this is all that matters. This is a woman that's had more boyfriends than there are tiny dots in the sky when you look up on a clear, beautiful night. Have you seen or heard Taylor Swift when she first started to who she is now. She started out as like this innocent country singer. Remember, okay, Taylor Swift comes from a household that claims to have been Christian and conservative. That's how she was brought up. As soon as she hit fame, it started to change a little bit. Funny how that works. Never seen that with a celebrity before. But all of a sudden, she started to change her music. Now she's a pop star that only sings about lust and greed and hatred and unforgiveness and about how horrible all her boyfriends have been. She commands a following of millions upon millions upon millions, a lot of them young and impressionable. And it's not just secular. A lot of people still think that Taylor Swift is a Christian. They idolize her within Christianity. In fact, the Gospel Coalition is one of the absolute most perfect examples of this Christian idolization of Taylor Swift. Even though Taylor Swift is so radical, progressive, liberal, woke, anti-God, she hates Christianity, the gospel according to Taylor Swift. And this was an entire article by the Gospel Coalition where they talk about finding yourself and how one of the most important things you can do is find yourself, and how actually when you look at Taylor Swift's music, you can find the gospel. Not only that, but they actually followed it up with another article called It's Me. Hi, I'm the problem, it's me. That's a lyric from a Taylor Swift song. Here, they literally just take snippets of different Taylor Swift songs and claim that they can give you the gospel story throughout Taylor Swift's music if you just piece everything together. These are all different song lyrics, but when you piece them together, she's presenting the gospel. This is one of the most insane things that you'll ever see. In fact, they tried to use these lyrics from one of her songs as her talking about heaven and talking about God. But there was like this documentary that came out several years ago about Taylor Swift. And this was a behind the scenes look, and she was going on this massive anti-Trump rant, back when it was really cool and really hip. You see her mom and her dad both fighting. Her dad saying, don't do this because you're going to lose half of your audience overnight. And her mom is saying, don't tell Taylor what to do. In fact, I have an entire video covering the entire clip of Taylor Swift's insane anti-Trump rant and anti-conservative rant. It's called The Tragic Confession of Taylor Swift. But she was complaining about Marsha Blackburn towards the end of this video. Marsha Blackburn is a senator in Tennessee, and this is what she had to say about her.
And see her disguising these policies behind the words Tennessee Christian values. Those aren't Tennessee Christian values. I live in Tennessee. I am Christian. That's not what we stand for.
So up until this point, Taylor Swift still claimed to be a Christian, though she was a radical leftist. And that's why you saw a lot of Christian outlets and a lot of Christians in general sticking up for Taylor Swift and saying that you just don't understand her. And it didn't actually even stop there. The Gospel Coalition put out another article where they claimed 7 things Christians can learn from Taylor Swift's Eras Tour. Now, this one really went as far as you absolutely could. I mean, this was worship at its absolute darkest. Okay, in fact, the Gospel Coalition removed this article after major backlash. In fact, you can go watch my video, This Major Christian Ministry Just Lost Its Mind, where I break down all 7 things that the Gospel Coalition claims Christians can learn from Taylor Swift. They have since deleted it. But again, my video shows everything that they posted in this article, and it's one of the most insane things that you will ever see and ever hear. Not only is Taylor Swift anti-Christian today, it's not like, well, just live and let live, and I'm just... No, she's like blatantly anti-Christian. In fact, she put out a very famous music video just a few years ago called You Need to Calm Down. This was a song all about praising and uplifting LGBT. In fact, throughout the music video, which is very salacious, like if I were to show on my channel the salaciousness that a lot of this video shows, my video would get demonetized. Why? Because it wouldn't be advertiser friendly. However, Taylor Swift can get away with it. I wonder why. There are so many scenes in here of these Christians being bigots, and she's literally mocking Christians in this video. I can't play the sound or a lot of the clips because, well, they'll take my video down. But you can see they even have like an LGB wedding. The whole video is about how LGB are victims and Christians are bigots. And so you can see here, Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve. But the video goes on to show, like, you get it, right? Not only that, but Taylor Swift literally went on an entire tour where she was doing seances every night. And this isn't like, oh, you just think it was seances because of some of the imagery. Well, no, it's like the music was literally created to be done in seances. She's not trying to hide it. She didn't explain it away as not being seances. This was a literal music and imagery written to be seances around Taylor Swift. And this is what tens of millions of people, young, impressionable people, are being exposed to. She literally is getting more sexual and more evil as time goes on. And that's why I absolutely loved Kirk Cameron's take on Taylor Swift and just the praise and worship that she receives. Remember this promise in Hebrews chapter 4, though. Beautiful promise here. Look at verse 15. For we do not have a high priest who cannot sympathize with our weaknesses, but was in all points tempted as we are, yet without sin. Let us therefore come boldly to the throne of grace, that we may obtain mercy and find grace to help in time of need. But hey, let me know your thoughts about all this in the comment section. I would love to hear from you. And if you wouldn't mind hitting that subscribe button, join this community. I would love to hear from you on a regular basis. And please hit that thumbs up button. You know, when you like this video, it'll get pushed out to more people and it would really help spread the truth. All right, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.